Whew. We are all up in white women's business today. You know, I knew anything was possible when a large population of men chose a couple of sex worker savers over me. I also knew anything was possible when an industry that celebrates serial killings and prostitution in their music blackballed the nigga who said you let him hit it raw. But never in a million years did I ever think the Taylor Swift fans would turn on her. The Swifties don't like the new album, and they're also mad at her about it. I've never understood the Taylor Swift type. Her music sounds like boiled chicken and plain white rice with a pinch of salt and pepper. That's what it's always sounded like to me. But they love it, and it doesn't bother me at all. You like what you like. Honestly, I didn't start hating on the music industry until they blackballed me. So please believe these days, whenever I hear about an artist's fans turning on them or I hear about concerts not selling, I just do this.
Taylor Swift's new album is many things. Unfortunately, good is not one of them. I knew the album wasn't going to be good as soon as the title was revealed, but the promo pics made me curious, so I have listened to the album in full. And now, having listened to it, the album's problem is glaringly obvious. The problem is Taylor Swift is aging out of being a white girl. Before you scroll, let me cook. When Taylor was a teenager, she wanted to be a pop star, so her parents decided to take the country route. Keep in mind, this is the 2000s. Pop music was highly sexual, it was sleazy, and then you had things like bling rap. It's not a place for a little white girl. Country music, on the other hand, loves a little white girl, and she's blonde, they'll eat her up. So her family moved from Pennsylvania to Tennessee to launch her country career. That's why for the first several years of her career, she faked a southern accent. She was trying to fit in, seem authentic. Once the pop landscape started to change the late 2000s and early 2010s, that's when she started to transition to making pop music. And now to talk about white girls. White girls don't have sex. They don't know what that is. White girls they're cute, they're adorable, they're like dolls, they're precious, they have to be protected. Do you remember a couple months ago whenever parents would bring their kids to Sabrina Carpenter shows and then act aghast because Sabrina Carpenter, who is a highly sexual artist, was referencing sex on stage? Of course they were, because how could a short, cute little white girl who is also blonde, a blonde, cute little white girl, how could she possibly know what sex is? It's the assumption. Women having sexual freedom and willingly engaging in sex is highly associated with blackness. You can see this most clearly when it comes to things like Disney and Nickelodeon stars. Miley Cyrus, she was Hannah Montana, all-American girl. And what does she do whenever she wanted to shed the Disney image and say, hey, I'm not just a little girl anymore? She releases Can't Be Tamed in bangers. Ariana Grande, another cute little white girl. What does she do whenever she wants to shed the childhood image? She releases Dangerous Woman in Sweetener. They would do things like hang out with rappers. They would incorporate black music styles into their own music. So that way, whenever they'd be sexual, it's like, oh, I'm not just a little white girl anymore. And over time, they would drift away from that because that wasn't who they authentically were. They were just using that as a way to escape the chains of being a white girl. Taylor Swift has never had to do that, and why would she? She makes being a white girl so fucking profitable. And the thing about Taylor Swift is that being a white girl is not just profitable for her, it's her entire brand. Because she's just, like, so awkward. And whenever she dances on stage, she's, like, bad because she's like, awkward. And she loves, like, cats and baking and, like, hanging out with her fans. And she would likely continue with this forever, except for one small problem. Taylor Swift is 35 years old. And it's not like she's showing signs of aging or anything, but the brand of being a white girl is very much being a white girl. What happens in a few years whenever she's 40? What happens whenever she starts to get wrinkles? Once you're middle-aged, it's not cute anymore to be awkward. So she's aging out of being a white girl, but she doesn't have a brand or really even a sense of self outside of being a white girl. Also, low-key, this is the entire key to her relationship with Travis Kelce, which is not going to go well, but that's a story for another day. And keep in mind, the world has been moving on. An artist like Sabrina Carpenter could not exist 10 years ago. There was nowhere in the pop landscape for her. For like a cute little white girl who's that sexual. It didn't exist. And then on top of that, things have been rapidly changing politically. So people want different things from women now. And the life of a showgirl is a testament to Taylor's inability to rise to the occasion. Like on the song Wish List. Oh, everybody wants bright lights and designer things and they want like a fat ass. But But me, then we get to the chorus, but me, I just want to have all of your kids. I want to have all of your kids, and then I want to live in a house, and I want the driveway to have a basketball hoop in it for our kids. And Taylor's personal struggle between her being her own woman and her being a cute little white girl is really embodied by the song Wood. It's called Wood because it's in reference to Travis Kelce's that. It's that. But the song isn't sexual at all, because the song isn't about sex. It's about a woman justifying the fact that she has sex. The song starts with her picking petals off of a daisy. Oh, he loves me not. Taylor portrays herself as being super insecure until Travis Kelce digmatizes her and opens up her eyes. And keep in mind, white girls cannot be sexual beings. It's not that she has sexual feelings, it's that a man came along and unlocked it in her. The curse was lifted. You see, you guys, it's not about sex at all. It's about love. His love was the key that opened my thighs. I don't have sexual feelings. I'm just a little white girl. Because this album is supposed to be her embodying her sexual energy, thus life of a showgirl. But Taylor either feels unable or isn't willing. Taylor doesn't actually embody it. She doesn't explore it because the embodiment of her sexual energy would come at the expense of the brand of Taylor Swift. It's seemingly not compatible, or at least she thinks, or her team thinks, that it's not compatible. So she has to be her own fully embodied grown woman in order to keep up with the times, but she also has to be like a cute little white girl in order to keep up with the brand of Taylor Swift. And in trying to do both, she successfully does nothing. I would be really curious to know if the album was even her idea, especially since so many of the songs sound like rejected tracks off of some of her old albums. Also, how are you gonna have an album called Life of a Showgirl and yet not a single fucking song on the album has a brass section? Showgirl music is big band, it's blaring horns, it's a hell of a lot of fun, and it just did not exist on this album. Not to mention, none of the songs actually have anything to do with being a showgirl, and really not even the song The Life of a Showgirl. Like, she could have just used the word follies once and I would have been satisfied. But discussing why the music isn't good sonically is not really the purpose of this video.
Woo. We are all up in white women's business today. That's by far the best video that I've seen about this, but it's not the only one. There are countless videos. The Swifties are so mad at Taylor about this album, and I thought it was hilarious. And this is what I thought immediately after watching all of those videos.
Hey, yo, Taylor Swift fans are proving that they're actually miserable, horrible, toxic people in real time. This lady gave y'all timeless hits. Her whole career, you heard me? Like, her whole career, y'all love this woman. You loved every breath she took. But now that she's in a happy relationship and she's singing about it, y'all don't like it. See, y'all like Sabrina Carpenter because she's not in a relationship, but she sings about dick. So she's getting multiple dicks. And that's what y'all like. Y'all like the whole society. Y'all are mad at Taylor because she's happy with a man and she can't stop thinking and talking about him. And y'all hate that. You absolutely hate it. He's a classic all-American, muscular, masculine football player, and y'all hate it. Now, if he was some bitch-made boy like Youngblood, y'all will be all over this shit like, yes, girl, because Youngblood with his pouty lips and shit. But Travis is just a dude. He's more than just a dude. He's a man's man. And he putting that wood all in Taylor. She called his dick a redwood tree. Travis putting that thing on Taylor. You hear me? I just think it's so funny how y'all will love someone to pieces, but as soon as they do something you don't like, you can't just ignore it. You got to give think pieces. You got to talk in depth about why you can't stand what's going on with her. But you love this woman for years and years and years. Y'all are the most wishy-washy people ever. And you're miserable because if this album came out and she wasn't with Travis, y'all will be like, ooh, our girl's finally getting some dick. But since she's in a relationship and she's in love and you hoes are miserable, you hate it.
I just don't understand why Sabrina Carpenter is good, but Taylor Swift is bad. all of a sudden. I don't get it. Like Sabrina Carpenter, all she does is talk about sex and she's very sexual on stage and stuff. So Taylor, y'all got it. You know, as many struggles as I've had with a black woman, and there have been a many, despite the struggles that I've had with sisters, I don't think I could really like date a white woman because I don't understand the mind of white women. I'm also afraid of them. Y'all saw what happened to me. I'm finna sue this girl right now because for clout, she said I threatened to hit her. Thank God I have a female witness. Thank the Lord Almighty. You hear me? I'm terrified of white women. And it's crazy that y'all adored Taylor. Every breath she took, every moment of her life. She has one album you don't like. And here come all this. I don't be hearing think pieces about how much y'all love Taylor Swift. But as soon as y'all don't like this woman, here it comes. If she was dating some bitch ass nigga, y'all would love it. But no, he's a man's man. That is not your cup of tea. She said his dick was a redwood tree. That's hilarious, bro. I can't even. Travis putting that thing on Taylor. Ah, fuck.